Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I'm actually at work. I'm doing one of my part-time gig, which is a bus driver, right? So I decide while I'm waiting for my students, let me come on here and just give you some opinions. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Putin, right? Now, I mentioned this in the last video, how you have a lot of these heathen Gentiles losing their mind at the fact that, Putin allegedly came out and I guess announced to Russia and the world that, the saints of the Bible were black people. And in fact, he urges a countrymen, to start worshiping Jesus Christ as their new Lord and Savior, right? So in other words, forget about the white man, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed devil. Now we're going to worship the black man. And the thing with me, I have a problem with worshiping anything, right? Even the Most High, I don't worship the Most High. I give all praises to the Most High, I acknowledge the Most High, but I don't know how to worship him. You know why? Because how I was told to worship him is the same way how the so-called white man worship their God, their Christian God, right? So I'm not going to worship anything. The Most High never told us in the Old Testament to worship him. He just said to be obedient, right? Obedience is better than sacrifice. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments and the dietary law, and that's all we needed to follow through it. So for me to worship the Most High, I'm not going to do it because I don't know how. I know a lot of y'all do, feast days and Passover. I'm not doing that either. You know why? Because you have to sacrifice an animal. And another thing that, actually stand out to me, how we sacrificing animals and doing Passover when we're not in our land. We're still in captivity. Now, physically, we're not. So I know after 2019, we're actually out of captivity. But we're still in the land of our enemy. We're still surrounded by these pagans and these animals that you're going to buy and consume on Passover Day. They're not kosher. Did you raise these animals yourself? And I know a lot of y'all do have farms and stuff like you raise your farm animals to be slaughtered. But for me, I'm not doing it because, again, the Most High said in the last days, right, we was going to be ruled by the Gentiles. And when he decided to gather us up and put us back into our rightful place, he was going to put the Torah on our hearts. So all this shit that we're doing now, I guess you could say, yes, it's pretty much, how you say it now, you're playing up to it, to the real deal. But I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do anything to offend the Most High. I think I've done enough. You know what I'm saying? So for me, family, I'm not going to engage in these heathens. So with Putin announcing this thing, what if it's a trick? Now, of course, again, these Gentiles know who we were. They know who we are, I should say. They have our records, right? And of course, they held on to it now. They're in the final judgment because it's a clip that's coming on April 8th, which is my daughter's birthday. Is going to change everything. And also, we got to consider that election, that selection process that's coming up in November. Now, we know Putin and Donald Trump, right? They're like buddies. Now, what if Putin is using this propaganda, putting out these iconic figures, right? Depicting the saints as being black as a ploy for us black people to get excited now to say, oh, see, Putin is on our side. And then instead of us voting for Biden, which I would never vote for either one of them, right? We go and we vote for Donald Trump because Donald Trump is affiliated with Putin. What if it's a psychological trick, right? Just something for y'all to consider because these devils, family, as much as I might admire Putin in some ways, because once again, Russia didn't engage in slavery. They probably couldn't because of how far they are from Africa. They probably couldn't get there according to their story, right? That we all came from Africa, which is a lie. The majority of the slaves were from here, Turtle Island. They refer to it as the Americas. They was already here. Black people was already here. And the Mongoloids came, mixed amongst us, and you have these new so-called Native American Indian. But that's for another video. But I believe that Putin is using this propaganda now to try to garner black voters for Donald Trump. I really believe that. And in closing, I used to question, why would the Most High use the Israelite to go out and wipe out nations? And I think the answer is simply because these nations are mixed with the Nephilim, right? They are hybrids. They are not humans. So the Israelite that the Most High chose over all the other nations were commanded to go and kill the Hittites, all these different heights, right? Because I used to question, like, why this God would allow us to go and wipe out these other nations? Simply because These fucking nations are wicked. They're a hybrid nation. They hate us, and this is why he allowed that decree to happen. Even the children. Just think about it. Do some more research on that. But I gotta go, family. Shalom.